we are gonna do one of my favorite to do candles. I try to somewhat clean up my workspace, but yeah. If you're gonna do cement, prepare to have a dusty work area. So let me get all my stuff here. We got 2 different mixing bowls, 1, 2. I'm actually gonna need more than 2, so I'm gonna grab myself another mixing cup right here. For my dry ingredients. So we got that, okay? And then, actually, we're gonna use that for this one. And then we're gonna use this. And what we're gonna do here is, I gotta get my mold, so let me go get that. So I'm just gonna throw this here for a moment. First step is, I'll show you a picture of the vessel on screen and what we're looking to exactly achieve here. First thing I'm gonna do is for this specific vessel, I'm gonna pour some of this in here. So we're just gonna do that ever so slowly. And I'm pouring probably more than I think I'm going to need. So I'm gonna put a little on that end and a little on this end. And now you wanna make a little, kind of like a little hill of sorts. Make sure it's really piled up good. I love this this gold glass. It's such a pretty color, but I just don't have that much of it. I bought it at Joann's Fabric one day, and it was quite expensive, and I really need to find this color. I've seen crushed glass, but just not this pretty. It's almost a bright gold, and it's just so pretty. So we're gonna do that first, and we're gonna put this back up here for a moment, okay? Next step, we need cement. I'm gonna put a cup in here. I'm sorry, not in there, in here. I measure everything in cups. I know some people weigh their cement, which I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be mixed by weight. I learned that the hard way with some resin a while back, that mixing by weight, if that's not the instructions, could result in something very disastrous. And I just want to pause here to reiterate that, especially with resin, you need to read the instructions thoroughly, because I mixed resin that was supposed to be mixed by volume, you know, measuring it out in a measuring cup. I mixed it by weight, and what happened was it got really hot really quickly, and it almost started a fire, because that's what happens. Same with cementol. It has a kind of thermal reaction and gets really hot while it's curing. So be careful and always read the instructions on whatever you're mixing, if it's chemicals. So I'm going to put a cup in this one and another cup in this one. I got my mixing tools. I got my white mixing tool, my black mixing tool. Next step, we are going to take 1 tablespoon of this titanium dioxide. This is from Amazon, Earthborn Elements. So I like to level these off, so I just use this little bracelet thing here that I have. And I just like to make sure that this is level. So I just kind of go back and forth to fill in any gaps, and it also kind of helps break up any clumps. We got a tablespoon of that, and I just bought myself some new tablespoons today from the Dollar Tree, and there's some great supplies you can get at the Dollar Tree. For instance, these. In fact, I just bought this one today, and they had some bigger ones, which are great. And then I bought this, you know, cheap set of measuring tools. So let's use the tablespoon, and I'm gonna grab my black pigment. If you want black, this is black. I used the old titanium dioxide. Never throw these out, because any pigments that come in bags, I can't stand that. So I put it in this. Great, so let me grab that little leveling device there. We're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna level it off. And this one's a lot more refined, I guess. And then I'm just gonna, I don't know if you guys could see it all the way over here, but I'm dropping it in this mixing cup right there. And that's how we're gonna get our black. So put that away. I keep my white up on the counter because I tend to use that one a little bit more. Okay, so the next step is that I'm going to mix the white with this one. And I just like to keep my different tools and utensils in their own cups with their own colors. I have, I have one for my orangey color. I have one for my black color. I have one for other colors. These are great. They're from Dollar Tree again. Great supply. These little spatulas. So next step, we're going to mix one color at a time. So I'm going to put this one aside and we'll start mixing up the black pigment. And my black cup, I kind of didn't clean it out that great, but that's okay because it's just going to get wet and we're going to kind of use it again. So this is how I mix. Some people put the powder in and then add the water. I personally find it really hard to stir. And I got like weak arms. I mean, look how dark that is already. All right. I just go adding little by little. And honestly, this thing's great because you could really scrape it off the sides and get it in the corners and everything. And this is typically how I like to work. I like to work in small amounts at a time. But this is an order that somebody just ordered on my website, so. And I know watching me mix is boring, but I left it in real time so you could see exactly what I do, how I keep scraping the sides to get it all mixed up. This is a good consistency, but I'm gonna add a little tiny bit more water because I have more. And after doing this for so long, I kind of just know, I just know the amounts that I need. You just start to know by looking and feeling how much of each pigment, how much more water you need to add to get it to that consistency. And again, some people measure theirs. I also kind of know by the cup how much I've used. I fill the cup up. At one point in time, I had it marked on here, but I lost that cup. But, you just kind of, you get a feel for it and you just kind of know, okay? There's no exact science here when it comes to mixing. I'm just going to make it a little watery. A little more watery than I normally do. The sheer reason that it's going to sit here while we mix the other one. So that looks good. Let's do the white. Okay, so I sped up me mixing the white one here, so you don't need to watch both of them. But as you can see, while I'm mixing the white one here, you want to work kind of fast. So I'm kind of going back and forth, and I'm still paying attention to the black one. You'll see me do that in a moment. Just to mix it up, I add a little bit more water to it, because as it's sitting there, it's starting to, set up. So you want to make sure that they're kind of both the same consistency. So I just, I keep going back while I'm mixing just to make sure that the black one isn't, setting up completely. So I add a little tiny bit of more water, and then here's what happens when I'm done. We are going to add these together. This is the fun part. Oh, there's a whole clump down there that I didn't miss. All right, let me just get whatever I can out of here. And the next step is going to be giving this a nice swirl. Look at that. So cool. All right, then we're gonna take our thing here, and I forgot my little board that I like to put on there just to make sure it stays in place. Okay, you guys see that? And we're gonna turn this on. I don't like to turn it too high because it's going to move the rocks too much. So once I get this kind of set up in here, what I'm gonna do is turn it up so it spreads. This thing is an absolute must-have, in my opinion. I think I might have mixed up a little too much here. But we'll find another mold to put some of this in. But yeah, that's okay. Voiceover Liana here. The vibration machine just got way too loud, so I'll just do a voiceover here. What I'm doing is same thing I always do, just kind of tapping and making sure I got all the bubbles out. So tap it on the machine. I have the machine on, turned all the way up, but I'm just kind of babysitting it here, squeezing the mold, tapping the mold, and then dropping it. And then eventually what I do is I take it off on the board and I kind of smack it from underneath to get any bubbles that are kind of at the bottom. The other two that I did of this, they had some bubbles in them. And to be honest, I really didn't mind the way it looked because I felt like it gave it a more natural, earthy appearance. And you'll see how it looks when the final product comes out. So let's take a look. I totally forgot about the fact that I was filming this video. So I demolded our candle before I could show you guys how cool it came out. Check it out. So you see, pouring those two little mountains we did in the corners left this. So you want to make sure you pour, when you're putting glass in there, way more than you actually want, just so you get that little accent right here at the bottom. And of course there's going to be a couple of loose pieces, but look how beautiful that came out. I love it. I think it came out absolutely beautiful. I was a little nervous about this one not coming out great because we didn't, it just looked like there was going to be too much black, but it ended up really coming out absolutely beautiful. I love it. And I don't know, I just love this gold look. I think it comes out really cool looking. And when you put candles in here and you see the sparkle in it, it's just gorgeous. I'm not going to do that in this one because it's for a customer, but I think it came out absolutely beautiful. And as you guys could see, I mean, it just kind of sparkles and it just looks so pretty. So that's that.